Let's talk about how to grow your rental portfolio in 2023. I always like to say that getting the first property is the hardest. That is the biggest hurdle to overcome. And I do think that that is absolutely true. When you've never done something before, the first step is usually the hardest. Think about anything you try in life. You're going to have so many questions, right? And guess what? Here's the thing. You're never going to have all of the answers. You might get 80% of the answers, and the rest of it requires some faith. The rest of it, frankly, requires some bravado on your part, right? The rest of it requires some cojones, right? To step outside of your comfort zone and take action. So if you've got one or two properties under your belt, you probably feel pretty accomplished, as you should. It was a lot of work to get there. But it's important to keep that momentum going and to use it to keep growing that portfolio over time. In this video, I'm going to walk you through some specific action steps that you can take to make sure that you're continuing to grow your portfolio. So let's dive into it, guys. Number one, the first thing you want to do is update your freedom number. You can download this off of our website. We give it away for you for free. We'll have a link in the description below. Just go to morrisinvest.com/freedom. It's totally free, and it's a PDF that could change your life. It's like 3 pages long. It'll teach you what your financial freedom number is in order to live financially free, especially if you haven't updated this worksheet in a while because life changes. For a while, my number for financial freedom to provide for my family, I lived in a very expensive state of New Jersey, was $12,000 a month. The property taxes, I had 2 kids at the time, right? I had a mortgage, I had all of those things. And then my life expanded. I had a 3rd child and things changed. Actually, my taxes went down because I moved to a more tax-friendly environment. So these things change over time. Look at where you are versus where you want to go. And I would say regularly updating your freedom number is very, very important because it keeps you honest. It helps you identify any changes in your finances, and it can actually help reignite your motivation, right? If you sit down with your spouse or your partner or by yourself and you come up with this new number, put it on your refrigerator. Is it $6,000 a month? That's all it would take for you to live financially free? Wonderful. Great. Figure this number out. Use our worksheet to do that. So that's step one. Please, please, please update your freedom number. Number 2, another action step that you can take is to have a brain dump session. I love these guys. Write down some different ways you could potentially purchase your next property. Think of potential strategies that you could put in your playbook for the year ahead. Remember, not every strategy is going to be a fit for you right now, but you should be able to come up with a couple of ideas that can help you move towards your freedom number over time. I'm a big fan of the brain dump. Even David Allen writes about this in his great book, Getting Things Done, because our brains are filled with all sorts of ideas. Just taking an afternoon with a pad of paper and writing down everything that you want to accomplish, writing it all out, and then categorizing it and saying, you know what, these things are just flights of fancy. I don't want to do this. And then scratch those off your list. A brain dump can be very powerful to help you move past some hurdles. Number 3, schedule some check-ins. Set up strategy calls and meetings with everyone who's involved in your financial freedom journey. This can be your spouse, this could be a mentor, a business partner, your tax planning team, your portfolio manager who's on our team at Morris Invest. Pick up the phone. You have a great relationship probably with one of our team members. Get on the phone, talk to Josh, talk to Haley, talk to other members of our team and say, hey, my goals have shifted a little bit. I'd like to talk with you about where I'd like to go. Remember that these people want to see you succeed, and working some accountability into your routine can be impactful and it can be inspiring. And they might ask you questions that you haven't even thought about. Very, very powerful. Number 4, consider leveraging the equity that you're currently sitting on, okay? Now, if you've already secured your first property, you may want to consider leveraging the equity in that property to buy your next investment. This is how it works, the snowball effect. This is a powerful strategy because it doesn't require you to save up a down payment from scratch. Number 5, outsource. Outsource, outsource. One big mistake I often see new investors make is they're trying to do it all by themselves. Look, I don't care how smart you are. You simply can't do it all by yourself. As the CEO of your real estate business, you need to be focused on the big scale things like growth and planning. Don't get bogged down by tasks that you could easily be outsourcing, such as property management or accounting, right? If you're doing accounting and you're a terrible accountant, how much is your time worth, right? I mean, think about it. Are you a mediocre accountant who's being paid $50, $60 an hour? That's how much your time is worth? What if you hired a really great bookkeeper for $25 an hour who's going to do a much better job than you are? Now you're paying less, but you're getting more. Now, if you're spending time in these areas, it's likely holding you back from growing in other ways. Besides, it makes your life a heck of a lot easier to outsource some of this stuff. Number 6, don't get distracted. Shiny object syndrome, right? You've already found your cash niche. You've already got a cash flowing rental property that's building up your net worth. Now don't try and reinvent the wheel. Once you're enjoying success, keep going. Yes, it's fine to diversify, but most successful investors I know focus on one single strategy, especially as you're getting started. It's important to stay focused and keep building that momentum. For instance, you get started investing in single families or duplexes, right? That's what I do. And then you've got your third property. Now you're thinking, well, maybe I'll start buying 100-unit apartment complexes. Really? You're going to shift what's already been working to something that you have no experience with. Now you're going to become a commercial real estate investor, or maybe you started out investing in mobile home parks and you've had great success with that. That's a niche. It's a difficult niche, but maybe you've cracked that nut. Great, good for you. Now you're going to suddenly switch and start investing in single family homes like I do. Again, follow the same path to success. Stop looking at shiny object syndrome. It's very, very distracting and it'll throw you off. And then a year from now, you'll come back and say, I wish I didn't waste that year doing that stupid thing. Let me get back on track. So with all of that being said, I want to see you reach your goals, but be aware of trying to scale too quickly. Investing is a long game, guys. Don't put yourself in a position where you're over leveraged or you're financially vulnerable. Don't do it. I don't want to see you in a pinch over a tenant turnover or a costly repair. Like if your property goes vacant for a short amount of time, every property is going to have a tenant turnover at some point. Is that going to ruin you? If that's going to ruin you, then you've scaled too quickly. Okay, slow it down. Be smart about this. Growth is really important, but buy and hold real estate is not a sprint. Okay, it's a long game. Set your goals, and that will help you build wealth at a substantial rate. And as always, if you need help setting your investing goals or figuring out what your next step is, my team is ready to take your call. The team at morrisinvest.com. That's my team. They will take great care of you. Book a call with them, lay out your financial goals, and they will help you achieve success. Now go out there, become a real estate investor. I still believe it's the #1 way to build wealth. We'll see you next time, everyone.